If you like the sound of the Tiffany and Company Patek Philippe 5711, but you don't have $6.5 million just hanging around in between the cushions of your couch, we've got a solution for you. Some really fantastic Tiffany and Company double-signed Patek Philippe watches here at SwissWatchExpo. It seems like all the stars and the sports figures and the Hollywood elite are been seen rocking their 5711 Tiffany blue dial NAUTILUS watches recently, and one of them in December went for a staggering $6.5 million. There's only 170 of those watches produced. They're the last 5711s, and most likely, if you're watching this video, you're never going to get your hands on one. So what's the next best thing? Well, realize that Patek Philippe only makes about 60,000 watches a year, so they're already extremely rare. Then you take a small percentage of those and double sign the dial Tiffany and Company, and it's a much smaller number. Very, very rare watches, and that's one of the reasons why this drives Patek Philippe collectors off the chart with excitement about these watches. We happen to have a couple of examples in stock right now at SwissWatchExpo. If you go to our website, SwissWatchExpo.com, in the search bar at the top where it says search 2000 plus watches, type in the word Tiffany, you'll see what we've got. We also occasionally get double-signed watches from Rolex and Tiffany. Their history with Rolex was kind of interesting. They used to make a lot of double-signed watches. Rolex in particular used to have relationships with a lot of companies to double-sign their watches. Some of their biggest competitors now, like Cartier, actually used to make double-signed watches. So you'll find out there exists Rolex watches that say Cartier on the dial. Very rare. And so it's kind of a niche collecting area for you could build a collection around looking for double-signed watches. So we've got a couple here to get you started. These are in stock and ready to ship. They're really, really beautiful watches. I'll start with this Gondolo. This one is a 5135 is the reference. It's an annual calendar Moonphase in white gold. And it's a good size watch. Within the world of Patek Philippe collecting, if you focus on watches from the 40s and 50s and 60s, you're going to end up with probably a lot of smaller watches in your collection. But this one's a more modern example. It's 38 millimeters wide, 51 high, and it is an automatic watch with an exhibition case back, so you can see that beautiful Patek Philippe Calatrava on the rotor. We've talked about this watch before. I love how symmetrical it is, with the apertures for the at 10 and 2, and then the aperture at 12, the Moonphase. And when you look at these watches, the double signing is very subtle. On this one, you have to really kind of look for it. It's in the Moonphase subdial at 6 o'clock. It does say Tiffany & Co. And that would be a great collection because you could easily enjoy it and wear it every day. It's not a vault queen that you would have to protect and never wear, but instead something you could really enjoy and have a lot of fun with, because I've never seen another one exactly like this, so it's got to be exceedingly rare. The next one we'll talk about, this is the 5150, and this is the one that comes with everything that you see here. This one was commemorative for 150 years of the relationship between Patek Philippe and Tiffany and Company. When these companies were both young upstarts in the 1830s, they had been around 14, 15 years, and the founder of Patek Philippe met with the founder of Tiffany at the store in New York, and they were so impressed by each other's products that they were making and selling that they decided to form a partnership. And in fact, there were some Tiffany things at the Patek Philippe Center in Switzerland. They had one of the original Tiffany vaults installed there. They had a sign up that they were a partner with Tiffany and Company. And at Tiffany, they really became, they were the first American distributor of Patek Philippe watches. They were the first to have an in-store Patek Philippe salon, opened in 2008. And they've really, this partnership has been very solid, as opposed to, say, the one with Rolex, which was a little more rocky. Rolex decided to stop stocking the service dials that said Tiffany and Company, and then they decided that they were going to no longer honor the warranty of watches that were stamped Tiffany and Company somewhere besides their own factory in Switzerland. So that sort of ended the relationship between Tiffany and Rolex. But this partnership with Patek Philippe has just continued to go strong. This watch is really interesting because the Hunter case back does have a commemorative inscription. It says 1851, 2001, and has a picture of the front of the Tiffany store. And then you open it up, of course, you can see the exhibition case back, the 22 karat gold rotor with the Calatrava logo, all of the numbers on the inside of the case back. So it's also an annual calendar Moonphase watch. So the watch itself is also spectacular. It comes with the setting tool. Also included in it is this book that's sort of a history of the relationship between Patek Philippe and Tiffany, and it comes with this commemorative coin that says, in commemoration of the 150th anniversary of the exceptional relationship between Patek Philippe and Tiffany and Company. So you got a lot of interesting ephemeral things here, some swag to go with your Tiffany Patek signed watch. But give us a call. We'll be happy to talk to you about anything that we have that's double signed. Sometimes we have watches from other companies as well that are double signed, and these are really exciting, interesting watches and something cool that you could start a collection with.